So just take some time to settle and to relax into your posture. And to allow all of the flesh and the muscles to relax around the bones. The eyes can be closed if that feels okay, or they can be slightly open. But taking some time to settle. Just taking some time to drop down into the physical body. And begin to notice how it feels. And we allow everything to settle like water. When we arrive, often the water is quite choppy. But when we leave it alone, it becomes quite still. And the mind and the body work in a similar way. And notice any gripping in the muscles. Notice any gripping in the mind. And we'll take a slow breath in through the nostrils and breathe out through the mouth with a sighing breath. So it's a letting go of any charge that's built up in the body. Notice any tightness in the diaphragm. And again, taking a breath in through the nostrils, and breathing out through the mouth, that sighing breath. Just releasing that charge. And the lower belly. Again, notice any holding on in the lower belly. Again, take a breath in through the nostrils, breathing out through the mouth. Just having that sense of release. So just taking some time to notice any holding on in the body. And allowing yourself to relax back into your posture so that you're comfortable. Just sitting like a bag of rice, heavy, solid. Letting go of any inner critic, knowing that there's no way that we can fail in our practice, but that we're simply noticing how things are. That we're bringing a a gentle curiosity to how we find things. And we allow this gentle curiosity to ripple down into the body. And cultivating that attitude of know where to get to. Just allowing things to be as we find them. And allowing yourself to be as you are. So there's a softening of the mind. Notice that tendency to watch from the mind. Just feel the body. And then dropping the awareness down into the feet. Maybe they're planted on the ground, or maybe you're cross-legged. But just taking some time to notice the feet. To notice any sensations in the feet. Maybe there's tingling or warmth. And if there's no sensations, not trying to create sensations, but just noticing what's here in the feet. And then bringing that gentle curiosity up into the legs. And again, notice any gripping in the legs. Any tendency to hold on. Notice the sitting bones. And feel the support underneath them. And feeling supported. By your chair or your cushion or your stool. And feel the support of this group. And allow the spine to find its place in the pelvis. Allow it to be upright, but not too tight. And allow it to reflect your intention to be alert and awake. Allow the head to find its place on top of the spine. And allow the chin to be gently drawn in towards the chest. Just creating a little bit of length through the back of the neck. And then bringing the awareness to the arms. And allowing them to hang dead weight from the shoulder girdle. And then bringing the awareness to the hands. And again, notice any gripping in the hands. The hands reflect that which is happening in the solar plexus. So when we allow the hands to soften, the solar plexus and the diaphragm too begins to soften. So it's always important and helpful to find a posture that's comfortable and to allow yourself to relax into it. To rest within it. And know that you can modify this posture at any time. And mindfulness is about being kind to ourselves. The tendency as human beings to be harsh and judgmental. And in our practice, we notice this. And we allow ourselves to come back to the breath. So notice the breath. When there are many things going on in our lives and around us, the waters tend to be choppy. And the breath is like a life jacket. So just take some time to acquaint yourself with the breath. To notice the breath. You don't have to make it happen. It happens quite naturally in the background. But it's always there. And when we notice the breath, it tends to know it's being noticed. It begins to slow down. And we just allow the breath to come and go. Not trying to change it. Not trying to control it. Just connecting with the breath. And sooner or later, we notice that the mind has wandered off, doing what minds do, planning, thinking, judging, daydreaming. We notice where it's wandered off to. And we very gently encourage it back to the breath. And the breath anchors us to the present moment. Enables us to feel centered. Brings stability to the mind. So allow yourself to feel anchored with the breath. Each time the mind wanders off, noticing where it's wandered off to, noticing that which takes you away from being centered. And very gently escorting it back to the breath. And the breath is always in the present moment. And we may notice that tendency to lean into the past, to project into the future. And when we notice this, we encourage the awareness back to the breath. And we notice in our mindfulness practice this tendency to judge. Again, it's part of being human. And judging can be quite black and white, not wanting things to be this way or that way. Our dislikes, our ideas about how things should be. And it's this that tends to create anxiety in the body. So in our practice, we learn to cultivate an awareness of allowing things to be as we find them. You notice that tendency to project into the future. Tendency to control, to want things to be different to how we find them. And it's this that creates an unsettledness. So we begin to notice how everything is filtered through the mind. So it's helpful to bring our awareness to that which we are thinking. And we notice that the mind has this tendency to add to that which it finds. So as best as we can, we begin to allow things to be just as they are. One of the attitudes of our mindfulness practice is an attitude of acceptance, not in a passive way, but just allowing things to be as they are. And by allowing things to be as they are, there's more of an unfolding to life. And when we're able to be with the breath, we notice that each in-breath is naturally followed by an out-breath. And that each out-breath naturally followed by an in-breath. Just this breath in this moment. And we begin to notice maybe that life unfolds moment by moment, breath by breath. And 95% of our life is said to be taken up by these ordinary moments. So allowing things to unfold. Allowing things to be as we find them. Allowing everything to settle. Coming to a place of stillness as best you can. And knowing that the ground of our being is always calm, is rooted in this peacefulness. The ground of our being has no need to judge or control. Just rests quietly in the background. And the more that we're able to allow things to be as we find them, the more that ground of our being, that calmness and stillness, is able to arise within us. And it's always there, beyond a mind that wants things to be different to how we find things. Just resting in this stillness. And as everything begins to settle, and we allow things to unfold, the mind settles, and the heart too begins to settle. And there's a sense of gratitude, of knowing that there is this place within each and every one of us which is undisturbed, which is always there. A place where we can rest. A place that we can return to without striving, just with a gentleness. Just with an allowing things to be as they are. And if we find ourselves getting caught up in thinking, worrying, just notice if you've lost the breath. So we can always return to the breath. This human journey, where the tendency is to spend most of our times in our head. And over time we can cultivate an awareness of feeling the body. And we're feeling it from the heart, not from the head. So as the heart settles, we can cultivate this feeling of the body, sensations in the body. And then bringing the awareness back into the heart. And filling the heart with loving kindness. Softening. And allowing this loving kindness to seep into every cell and muscle in the body. Every bone, every joint, filled with loving kindness. And allowing this feeling of loving kindness to wash through the nerves of your body. Each in-breath is a new beginning. Each out-breath, a letting go, a letting be. And as we move towards the end of this practice, you're taking this loving kindness with you into the moments of your day. And you can continue with your practice if you choose to and are able to.